Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to start the process of adding music. And there are two things to do first of all. The first one is to import the music, and the second one is to show you the golden rule that you must never ever break. So, first of all, to import the music, you can either import it onto this track that we've already got here, which is audio 1, or we can create a new track straight away and then import it onto that track. Doesn't really matter because you can move it around. So to show you just how forgiving Cubase is, I'm just going to import it as is. So I'm not going to add any changes to this track or create a new track. I'm going to show you how easy Cubase is to do that for you. So we go to import under the file menu and we go to audio file, if I can get there. And then we are in the right folder. I've got the right folder already, so I just happen to know where I keep my music, and I'll whiz over to the right one that I want, which happens to be, in this instance, Sheldon Music, because it's a Sheldon book. They published it. And there's the piece of tape that I'm working on. I'm going to drag this down, and it automatically creates a new track for me. Hoorah! So that is how easy it is to import music. Now, let's just zoom out a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. And there we go. So this is the first piece of audio, and this is where I say Urban Legends by Nick Harding. If you don't believe me, Urban Legends by Nick Harding. Yes. And to do it again but with the sound muted, this is the mute button, as I think I've mentioned before, so we'll try that again. Urban Legends by Nick Harding. Marvellous. So the first thing we have to do then, we've imported that music, is, after importing the music, is set the volume levels. So, I can tell from experience that this track here is going to be much too loud for this, and as we just heard, it was quite loud, it overpowered it. So we zoom out a bit further, and you can see that blue mark there. That allows us to adjust the volume of this particular piece of tape. So I'm going to move it down so it's about the same. When you look at it, it's about the same, and I'm going to make note of the number that's changing there. There are two numbers just here to the right of the arrow, and I can't put the arrow on them because it keeps moving away, as you can see. But those two numbers there, they change as I go up and down. So the diff number is how much I've changed the volume by. There we go. And the actual number on the left is the volume level that this is at. So it's currently at minus 4.56 decibels, which is a difference of minus 4.56 from where we were, which is 0. So if I release and then press again and do it, see we're at minus 4.56 decibels, and the difference is 0 because we haven't changed it yet, but now we're changing it. So I reckon that we want to be around about there, which is about minus 7.78. And what I'll do now is I'll listen to them together and see how they sound. So I'll listen to the music first and then see if the speech is about the same. Urban Legends by Nick Harding. And I can see that it is. Excuse me. Firstly, because it sounds about right, it feels right, but also there's a clue here in these monitors that are telling me that they're about the same. So I click and hold this, and I write down somewhere minus 7.78. So I'm going to do that. Minus 7.78, and I'm going to call that the high volume. So that's the volume that I have when I'm not speaking. It's the volume that I have either side of my speech. But now I need another volume, which is going to be happening underneath my speech. So I'm going to have to bring it down even further for that one. And it's maybe around about there. Let's just see how that sounds. Preface. Urban myth or legend. Noun. A story, especially one with a shocking... You know what? That's about right. I normally leave it too high, but it's usually about minus 20. So minus 21.07. I'm going to write that down. Minus 21.07 is the low volume. So we now have our two volumes, and we're ready to start chopping and changing.